Well, for the first time in history, we are live. We've got a unique episode at hand as we're live streaming Josh and Jake's weekly Bracketology Call and bringing you into the mix on YouTube and Twitter. So get into the mix with your questions and comments because we're live, pal. It's college baseball now.
Yeah, ain't no problems, there won't problem with me, no. Yeah.
Let me talk to the chat. They know I was gone for a minute, had to BRB. Had to grab a couple wins, what I DID. They sleeping on the kid, I had to do it BIG. I can never be average, and they want a problem with the boy, they don't want no static. I don't need your cosign, running with God. Wanna test that, tell them what's happening. Took control, run the game. Best believe I'm shining dog. Counting in my wins, yeah, I love it when they count me out. Off the leash, of the chain, boy, I've been a dog. Best believe I run the game, you know I'm in control of y'all. It's like magic, believe I want that static. Yeah, it's like magic, believe I want that static. Yeah, it's like magic, believe I want that static. Beat them up, knock them out. They really don't want no static.
Coming to you live from, well, 3 different places, but coming to you live on YouTube and Twitter. It is College Baseball Now, presented by Prospects Live. We're so glad to be here with you for a very special episode of the show, obviously streaming live. Excited to see some of you already joining us. Joining us being we, your friends, your hosting team for College Baseball Now, starting with me, Drew Wheeler, Director of Amateur Scouting at Prospects Live. Happy to be here with you and my friends as well. Starting with the gentleman in the middle of the screen, his new signature spot, some have called it. It's Josh Catlett. Josh, how are you, sir?
I'm great. I enjoy doing this every week. I'm excited to get to show the people what it's like behind the scenes.
How the sausage is made. It's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait for you to walk us through your thought process for sure. And then on the far side of the screen, I believe he's had a haircut since I've seen him. It is Mr. Jake Bargery. Coach, good to see you.
Good to see you too, Drew. I did get a haircut today, actually, in preparation. Baseball season's over. The superstition of not cutting my hair during the season is over. So time to get back to business.
Back to business indeed. And speaking of business, guys, lots of business to attend to because it is what it says on the tin. We're breaking down you guys' normal bracketology call that you have once per week. So I'm going to throw it first to you, Jake, to kind of explain what brought this about before we give it to Josh, who's going to walk us through and lead us in this process. Before we do that, though, at home, we need you to comment on Twitter, on YouTube. Drop your comments because we can see them. We can chime you in as your thoughts are coming in on our field of 64 while we put it together. We invite you to join us in this kind of special episode of College Baseball Now. Jake, what brought this thought about to do bracketology between you and Josh?
Yeah, I mean, like since we started College Baseball Now back in the fall, this is something that I think both of us has kind of been looking forward to. Josh was doing his on his own personal account. I'd been kind of keeping track of it myself, not really posting it, and then we just kind of thought together like a few weeks ago where we thought about let's just start posting. Let's get a bracketology up for the College Baseball Now, for all of us, and then and then we had the discussion not too long ago about maybe going live and thought that would probably be fun as we got, a couple weeks left in the season. So I'm excited to get into it. It's going to be a big discussion for sure, as it always is between me and Josh when we're doing it by ourselves, but it's going to be fun though.
Josh, a big discussion typically between you and Jake, only going to be expanded obviously by adding my mass and bad opinions to the mix. So I'm excited to be here with you, buddy. Thank you so much. I'm curious, Josh, can you walk us through obviously what our process is going to be I'm going to go ahead and bring in your screen, walk us through the process, and let's go ahead and get started putting together this field of 64.
Yeah, so relatively simple, the process itself. I went ahead and listed let me start over. All the conference champs are represented here based on who we think has the best chance of winning the conference tournament, who we project. The ones that are controversial, we already discussed before getting on here, just to kind of cut some time so this thing isn't 2 hours long. Most of these are pretty self-explanatory. Over here, we have the at-larges. These teams, the top 27 of them, are ones at the same kind of thing. There's no way we could have a discussion and like end up with a scenario where these teams are not in the field. All of these here, I think there's, let me update this real quick. Here, there's 19 teams for 8 spots that after we finish the 1 and 2 seed discussions, we can kind of have a talk about who we think of these 19 teams will make the 8 spots for the bubble, for the last at-large spots. That's typically where the most frustrating discussion comes, considering the bubble is so incredibly weak this year. But we will do that after we discuss the 1 and 2 seeds, and then at the end we'll put the 3 and 4 seeds, seed them mostly by like geography, but typically it's like we try to go in terms of competitive balance, where it's like if it goes down this way and then back up like this, if you can see my screen for the people listening on audio, sorry. But that the 1 and 2 seeds are seeded 1 through 32 like that. And then we try and wrap back around like this and give the more difficult 3 seeds down to the 16, 15, 14 seed regionals and so on, and then back down this way. So it's roughly by geography, but we try and get some competitive balance in there too. It's a fun process. Let's get into it.
I'm excited, man. So judging on what you just said, then the first step would obviously be we need to go through the 1 seeds. Josh, is that correct?
Yes.
Let's do it. Go ahead. Passing the floor to you.
All right. Well, first of all, I think the discussion starts at 2, really. I think we can all pretty much agree UCLA is going to be 1 overall. I mean, that I don't really need to say any kind of numbers, but that they're 46-5, 25-2, quad 1 and 2 record, the 1 in the RPI, it's pretty set in stone. I think they've been 1 every single time. I don't think that's going to change. From here, I think is where you can have a discussion about, in my mind, 4 teams, maybe 5, but I think 4 teams could be talked about for this spot, or for the 2 through 5 spots. In my mind, that would be in no order: Georgia Tech, Georgia, North Carolina, and Auburn. Do any of y'all want to add, would you want to add Texas in that range, or do you think, I mean, we can discuss them, but I personally think resume-wise, they don't entirely stack up, but what do y'all think?
I think we can add Texas. I mean, they have 16 SEC wins. Auburn has 16 SEC wins, if I have that right where I'm looking at it. The RPIs, it's 4. Top, they have the 6th strength of schedule. Like that, they don't really have any bad losses. I think they have maybe 1. Like, I think Texas can be thrown in this mix. Maybe.
All right.
I would agree, just because looking at again, if we're comparing resumes right here, the quad 1 and 2 record for Auburn, 20-16, is very strong. 21-11 from Texas, though, is better on both fronts. Now, granted, Auburn plays a more difficult schedule. I don't think that there's any real argument to that.
Right.
I would, and again, I don't want to speak for Jake, but I would still think that even if Texas ends up as the 6th seed nationally, I still think that they deserve to be kind of in this conversation at the bare minimum. I would say they're either 5 or 6, though, Josh.
All right, yeah. So in that case, between these 5 teams, we can kind of break it down. I think so. RPI, Auburn's 2, Georgia Tech is 3, Texas 4, North Carolina 5, and then Georgia all the way down at 15. Georgia is like the exception of all exceptions here. They're probably going to pop up about 3 spots this weekend just for playing Auburn. Beating them might help a little more, but just for playing the team that's number 2 in the RPI, they're going to bump up regardless. I don't think, like, Auburn and Georgia Tech swapped yesterday. Both teams lost, but Auburn was playing a better team in Jacksonville State, so Auburn's now number 2 in the RPI. I don't think that's going to change because they're playing Georgia this weekend. I don't really see it changing. It's an interesting situation because I think in terms of, I know where I lean here. I personally, for number 2, I lean Georgia Tech. They're probably going to win the ACC. They don't have the head-to-head over North Carolina, but I'm not sure in regards to everything else how much that matters. They're 3 in the RPI. They have 16 quad 1 wins. It's a 22-7 quad 1-2 record combined. I think that's better than any of the other teams in this range. That's personally where I lean. I mean, typically in a normal year, you're not really going to find the top 2 seeds being non-SEC teams, but I think this year there's an exception. Y'all correct me if you disagree, but I think Georgia Tech would be too.
No, I'm with you. You said all the things that I was also going to say about it. I'd have Georgia Tech at 2, probably Auburn at 3, right?
So, I think I'm trying not to be biased here. I personally, it's gonna figure itself out this weekend anyway. I think I would have Georgia at 3, just because regardless, I know the RPI is what it is, but regardless of how the result goes this weekend, Georgia is going to win the SEC by multiple games. And I think it would be hard for the committee to put another team above Georgia when they win the toughest conference by multiple games. That's just me. It's not a lot of, like, it's not nearly the amount of quad 1 and 2 opportunities as the other teams in this range, just purely because of the strength of schedule. They're 36 in strength of schedule, 234 in non-con strength of schedule. That's where I lean. It's going to work itself out. If you wanted to lean Auburn just because they're the home team this weekend and you think they'll win that series and that'll hold some weight, then that's a different situation. But I personally would go Georgia here, I think. Thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to predict Georgia to lose a series to anybody, I guess, road or at home.
I mean, at this point, you can kind of say the same thing about Auburn, if we're being honest.
Yeah, but I mean, you mentioned it. They have 21 SEC wins right now to Auburn's 16. I think that does say a lot. And if they do win the series, their RPI is probably going to jump up into they might get into top 10 at that point if they win the series at Auburn. I'm good with it. I'm good with Georgia at 3.
Before we settle on that, Josh, my only question to you would be, what would have to happen between now and Selection Monday for you to put Auburn at 3, and what's the likelihood it happens?
Regardless, likelihood is not very high, but I mean, it sounds simple. I think they'd have to win the tournament in Hoover, really, because I mean, if it's this close, and Georgia has just such a gaping advantage over the rest of the SEC in terms of the conference standings, I think Georgia would have to lose in their first or second game in Hoover, and Auburn would have to run the table.
Okay.
And then we can talk. The RPI helps. If Auburn remains at 2, that's going to be a really, really strong case because they have the number 1 schedule in the country.
I agree with you. That's the one thing kind of glaring me in the face is I'm hearing you guys make great points is just the difference in RPI. Let's run it with Georgia. I agree with you guys enough. At this point, I think my brain explodes very early into this, so you guys are going to have to really crutch me along because at this point, I'm not sure. I almost lean Carolina and then Texas in that order, but I could be convinced otherwise.
So I think that's where I lean too, but I don't know. It's very close.
Oh, got a comment.
Luke
at home. What's up, Luke? Good to hear from you, buddy.
Actually, I don't know. I'm looking at it more. Jake, you chime in where you feel. I think so. Quad 1, Texas has 5 more wins. Their quad 1 and 2 records, North Carolina's 21-8 compared to Texas 21-11. Texas is 1 spot above Carolina in the RPI. They have much better series wins for sure.
Definitely. I think the quad 1 opportunities is also really telling there too, right?
Yeah, and I think so. What strength of schedule? Texas is 6, Carolina's 20.
Yeah.
Road record. Well, here's a big one. So, road record is something that I think is discussed a lot more in the room than probably we realize. North Carolina's 12-2. Texas is 8-8.
Ooh.
We should probably probably pull up the DSR and the KPI.
I was just getting ready to say that DSR North Carolina is 2, Texas is 5, so they're both top 5 in that metric.
Jake, will you explain at home DSR to people at home who may not know what that is?
Yeah, it's just another ranking similar to RPI. Like, I don't know the formulas for the two off the top of my head, but I know they both get discussed when they're talking about it. Obviously, RPI is the more heavily considered of the two. But DSR, I believe is it Diamond Sports ranking? Is that what it is?
This is also the first year officially on the ballot.
Yeah, it's a formula-based metric similar to RPI that also gets considered. And then KPI is another one. I don't know. I don't think that one's used as heavily as the other two.
They're both used this year for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And the softball tournament that just the bracket came out for last week was, I think DSR was heavily factored into that one. Like, if you look at the DSR compared to like the other two metric systems, the DSR more correlated more with the final results than anything else. I'm not gonna it's different committees. I'm not gonna say it's the same thing, but it should just be noted, I guess, that there is relevance.
Wouldn't it be nice if it was just standard across all of them? But
no kidding.
North Carolina is 2 in DSR. Texas is 5. I don't know what they are KPI. I didn't.
KPI Texas 4, Carolina's 5. So I mean, they're so close that those are probably a wash in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think I've talked myself into Texas, honestly.
I think I would lean Texas, but I would not fight anybody for saying they prefer UNC here. I would lean Texas as well.
Jake?
Texas is also playing Missouri. They could just get to 19 SEC wins.
True, they could also hurt the RPI just by playing Missouri.
Oh, good point.
How much would that? They do have them at home. If they sweep, I mean, how much do they drop? Like,
I don't know, but I mean, this late in the season, I also don't know. But it should probably just be noted.
I would think if they just win all 3, they're probably still a top.
Yeah,
6.
I think.
RPI.
I think I like Texas. I think I taught myself in the Texas here. Are we cool with that?
Yeah,
I like Texas. Texas UNC.
All right. Oh, hello. All right. Next group, I think, once again, throw in teams if y'all think anyone different. I think Bama and A&M are definitely in this next group. I'd say probably
Big 12 champion in that mix somewhere.
Yeah, Florida State, I would say, because of the RPI for sure. And then we have this weird bunch of, I think, Mississippi State, Southern Miss, West Virginia, Florida, maybe Kansas, because like Kansas is probably going to win the Big 12 regular season, but they're way higher in the RPI, or not way higher, they're like 4 spots higher. And I think it's like, I don't know. I think for this next group, we should probably stick with Mississippi State's probably right in here. Maybe throw a Southern Miss. What do y'all think?
So we talked about it in our last show we did. This Texas A&M Mississippi State series is probably who wins it gets a top 8 seed. Loser probably doesn't. A&M plays them at home. I think we can kind of just assume the home team there if we're going to go one of those two.
Yeah,
but they're in this group. Mississippi State is definitely in this group. If A&M's in this group, Mississippi State's also in this group.
I think a few things hurt West Virginia for being in this group. Southern Miss, it sounds like a basic thing to say, but like I think it's true. If you don't win your conference as a mid-major, I don't think you can really be like in this group. You know what I mean?
Sure, that makes sense.
So should we stick with these 4 teams and talk about it?
Yeah, that works. That works.
So we're going. I mean, this is 7, 8, 9, 10. These are some big seeds we're talking about here.
So if we're just listing, all right, RPI, Bama is 6, Florida State is 7, A&M is 10, Mississippi State is 11. DSR, A&M is 7, Florida State's 8, Mississippi State is 10. Bama's down at 13. And then if we go to KPI, Bama is 8. A&M is 9. Florida State's 10. And Mississippi State is 12.
So they all kind of contradict each other there.
Yeah, there's no like one that really overwhelms those rankings. I would say the most well, no, I take that back actually.
So
if it were, let me say this, and then you guys piggyback off that, if that's okay. If the order you've got on the screen there, Josh, I would flip Mississippi and Florida States and then run it that way, even though I think A&M was more consistently at the top of those rankings pools of that grouping of 4. I think they were first, second, whereas Alabama was first, last, and first.
Right. So actually, the one thing I was thinking of this group is if you look at multiple things, if you look at all of those metrics, and if you look at things like quad 1 record and conference record and all that stuff, I think Mississippi State is clearly last of the group. Of that group, they are last in RPI, second to last in DSR, and last in KPI. Quad 1 record, they are 9-11 compared to Bama's 12-11, A&M's 12-11, and Florida State's 8-10. So it's relatively the same. Strength of schedule, they're also third in the group. They have a good road record. They're 9-5, so that helps them there. But in terms of, I think there's a lot of things I personally would have them last. It's just a matter of trying to figure out who is first. Bama has Ole Miss this weekend, correct?
What's up to Will Dodge at home? Yes, Bama is at Ole Miss, or excuse me, Ole Miss at Bama. So here's, Josh, kind of what I'm thinking then is if we put Florida State at 9, Mississippi State at 10, then we're kind of just writing. I think we're kind of trying to decide 7 and 8 in what order, right?
So you think Florida State's the clear third? I kind of agree, but let me look at something real quick. I think that's probably about right. The quad 1 record hurts. The quad 1 and quad 2 combined certainly is not in their favor compared to these other teams. They're also tied for third in the ACC. That bad sweep against Stanford isn't helping their case. They have who do they have this weekend? Shoot, I can probably look.
Who are you looking at, Josh?
Which one are we? Florida State plays Miami.
Okay, so
at home.
You got it right. It's Ole Miss at Alabama, and then of course State at Texas A&M.
So for 7-8, I guess the discussions between A&M and Bama at this point, because I think I agree with you. Jake, are you on board with Florida State being 9, Mississippi State being 10? Does that feel right to you?
I think so. I mean, if Mississippi State, like if they beat A&M, I think they get one of these 2 spots. But I think we can just kind of assume with A&M being the home team there, we can kind of just give them the nod. So that would probably put Mississippi State at 10. And I agree, Florida State, they had the least amount of quad 1 wins out of the group. Yeah, I think Florida State being 9 is okay.
All right, so Bama and A&M, they have the exact same quad 1 record, but Bama has 5 more quad 2 wins, same amount of quad 2 losses. A&M is a game and a half up on them in the SEC standings, but Bama's 4 spots higher in the RPI. Although they're 6 spots lower in DSR, and they're like back-to-back in the KPI, so that's a wash.
So, something here, if we're talking about Bama and A&M, Alabama has the number 4 strength of schedule. A&M's number 25, which isn't bad. Non-conference, Bama's 26. A&M is 209 non-conference strength of schedule, which is bad.
No, yeah, that's jarring. I think that's a great point. I mean, I was leading Bama anyways, but I think that could push me over the top because strength of schedule matters a ton in terms of RPI and just they look at that metric in general.
Yeah.
So Right now, actually, as a matter of fact, this exact order I have it listed on the screen right here. Is that what we're looking at?
I think I like that. Yeah.
I'm okay with that for the right now. Yeah. I also love the point that that Jake made a second ago, just to kind of touch back on it. I mean, obviously, if Mississippi State can win in College Station, I think that's going to affect this. But this is something to remember at home, too. This is a snapshot of where we are today with the knowledge we have today and what we're predicting for the rest of the season. So just keep that in mind.
All right, so we kind of discussed this beforehand. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, pretty clear these three are in our next tier. Any disagreements?
No, I'm good with those three.
All right, so Jake, you, correct me if I'm wrong, think Ole Miss should be in this next group of these teams. Is that correct?
I had Ole Miss. I like them as a host at first glance. I mean, I think these three are probably ahead of them, so we can probably do these three and then talk about the rest.
For what it's worth, I was actually going to suggest Ole Miss in this group as well. But I would agree with Jake that I think let's poke holes in these three before we add Ole Miss to the mix, if that makes sense.
Yeah, okay. So the very clear advantage that one of these teams has above the rest is Florida's quad one wins. That is the number one thing. Florida has 15 quad one wins compared to 8 for Southern Miss and compared to 8 for West Virginia. So I think that's a really big factor. Strength of schedule, Florida is 2 in the whole country. West Virginia is 67. Southern Miss is 14, surprisingly. Lots of good midweeks.
Yeah.
Southern Miss is 9 RPI. Florida's 12. West Virginia is 18. Anything jarring in DSR? Southern Miss is down at 20 in DSR. West Virginia is 9. Florida's 15. KPI, Florida's up at 6. Southern Miss is 11. West Virginia is 14. So the DSR is the only thing that really loves West Virginia here.
Yeah.
I kind of think Florida is just next.
Yeah, I mean the quad one wins speak for themselves.
And the point you made earlier about Southern Miss not leading their conference,
right?
And it's not a power conference. Not that the Sun Belt's bad or anything, but I think Florida is 11, and then the other 2.
So West Virginia and Southern Miss. Quad one, West Virginia is 8-4. Southern Miss is 8-7. Quad 1 and 2 combined, West Virginia is 13-9. Southern Miss is 21-9. Southern Miss is 9 in the RPI compared to 18 for West Virginia. Southern Miss is a series win over Santa Barbara, a couple big midweeks. West Virginia just came off that big sweep on the road at Kansas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Series win over Arizona State. Road record, West Virginia is 19-7. Southern Miss is 13-8. I think a lot of this. Ooh, my screen just got. Wait, did not mean to do that. I think a lot of stuff here points towards Southern Miss.
The 21-9 Q1 Q2 is a big number compared to West Virginia's 13-9.
For sure, that's the one thing that was really standing out to me. Also, the strength of schedule is just a huge difference. 14 compared to 67 is just a
non-con strength of schedule 203 for West Virginia. Also
7 for Southern Miss.
Yeah, I like Southern Miss at 12.
Okay,
and then we're just going to go with West Virginia at 13.
Yeah,
I'm fine with it. The Big 12 truther in me is wanting to rise up and fight, but you can't argue with numbers. Real quick, did have a comment that I think is relevant to this next selection of teams. Dodge at home says, any Wake love for this region? And curious what you guys think on that. Are we going to see Wake maybe sneak in at a 15 or 16 seed?
I personally don't think so right now. I mean, just like the number one thing that stands out to me about them is the 7-14 in quad one. They have a below 500 record quads 1 and 2 combined. I think it's just now that said, there could be a team in this range that we put in there that I'm going to sound like a big hypocrite when they have a below 500 quad 1 and 2 record, but that 7-14 is really jarring just for a host. Also 6th in the ACC. We'll get to them in the 2s for sure, but I don't think they've really done enough to host for now.
Dodge, tell us why you think they should host in the comments, and we'll run it back though. If you make a good argument, hey, why not?
All right, so I said beforehand, I think there are 6 teams for these last 3 spots: Ole Miss, Oregon State, Nebraska, Oregon, Kansas. There might only be 5. I'm gonna be honest. I think Coastal's completely knocked themselves out of this conversation.
I do too.
Yeah, I personally think so. Do either of you think Coastal should be in this combo?
No, this is the group that I had as well for the rest.
All right, so y'all sell me on Ole Miss.
I think Ole Miss. I mean, I don't know. You just talked about the below 500. You literally just did.
Thanks, Josh.
I don't know. Ole Miss, they have 14 SEC wins. Who are they playing this weekend?
Alabama this weekend.
They are playing Alabama.
Number 3,
not easy. Number 3 strength of schedule was what I was getting ready to say. They have 0
13 RPI.
They have 0 Q3, Q4 losses. There's not a ton of teams that have that number.
That is nice.
I think, I don't know, if they take 1 from Bama, I mean, what's their RPI going to be at? They're 13 right now. I think like the predicted thing I saw earlier was like 15. They're going to end up with probably a top 16 RPI. DSR, they're 16, which is, I think, 3rd in this group. I don't know what they are KPI. I mean, I could be swayed. I had them in as a host. Why do you think they shouldn't be Ole Miss?
When I was going through it, they didn't really. I'm not necessarily opposed to it at all, but they didn't really stand out. They're 9th in the SEC. Like I mentioned with Wake, they have a below 500 quad 1 and 2 record combined. They're 15 and 18. And granted, that is a lot of wins. They have 10 quad 1 wins.
What about this? Let's use Ole Miss as a measuring stick, Josh.
Okay.
Why do you prefer Oregon State to Ole Miss?
I'm not sure I do. It's the other ones. This is
pick another one then. Like let's Oregon or Nebraska. Let's talk a Big Ten.
Let me go through this. So,
Well, Oregon and Nebraska are kind of a big old same burger.
Right, and so I don't really want to use head-to-head as the determinant factor here because I don't really think that matters too much per se.
And Nebraska, other than head-to-head, and I guess Q1, Q2 record, they're pretty similar, but I guess Oregon kind of has them there. But everything else is kind of Nebraska over Oregon.
Right. I think that Oregon's also going to match Nebraska's top win this weekend by at least 1. I mean, if you think Oregon takes the series from USC, then they're going to match Nebraska's top win. And then I think that you're going to have UCLA still as a win for Oregon. Nebraska
that's
2
going to
wins.
That's going to be a big RPI boost if they beat USC.
It
also,
sure
so at this point, that is true. At this point, I'm more looking for a reason to not want either of these teams. The only thing I can find for either team that's kind of glaring, Oregon's KPI is 29. Nebraska's 17. The strength of schedules are similar. Non-con leans Nebraska. Nebraska has them in quad 1. Quad 1, quad 2 combined is Oregon. Road record is Oregon. It's close. But I don't know. So here's another thing. I don't know if we can have them both in because I don't know if there could be 3 Big Ten.
Big Ten hosts. I'll say this. I think they're close enough, and honestly, you guys know it because if you've listened to college baseball now, you at home would know it. I've been on the Oregon is fraudulent train literally the entire season until Sunday night. So, I mean, it's not going to take much pushing for me to say, yeah, okay, Nebraska. But
so if we're projecting here, here's the other thing. If we're projecting here, we do think, I would imagine, that Oregon is probably going to beat USC this weekend.
At least 2-1, I would say.
Correct.
I think so too.
It's at home. So that will help the RPI because of how high USC's RPI is, obviously. I think that would end up boosting them in most metrics. I think I would give it to Oregon to be in.
USC is at 8. They take 2 out of 3. I mean, I don't know how to predict the number. Oregon, what are they at? RPI number 20. They're going to be a top 16 RPI if they win this series. Probably Oregon probably gets one of these last 3. I agree. If we're going to say that they're going to beat USC.
Another team we haven't discussed that, I mean, like resume wise, actually stacks up really well here is Kansas.
100%. I was just looking at Kansas.
The RPI is not really in their favor. It's 22, but they're 14 in DSR, 21 in KPI, but everything else helps them out a lot. They're first in the Big 12, 18-10 on the road, 9-6 quad one record, 16-11 quad 1 and 2 combined. But I think the big kicker would be like they are barring some upset, like some unforeseen upset, they are going to win the Big 12 regular season.
Really, really quick, Josh, not to jump off of Kansas. Dodge just made a good point in the comments I want to show up. Got to remember for Oregon, any USC win this weekend is a quad 1 first. So that's quad 1 wins. That's a good point in terms of Oregon.
Yeah,
I think probably the point that he could be trying to make for USC is like any win that USC wins, that's their first on the year.
But, he could. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah,
actually.
Yeah. I think the only hope USC has at getting any other ones is like, does UCSB get into that range?
Or they could take some in Omaha, meaning Omaha the Big Ten tournament.
Yeah. If they get another one against Oregon or somebody else. But even then, if they end up with like 3 or 4, like I don't know. After Oregon State sitting here at a 3 and 4 Q1.
I'm about to say, so a lot of things point towards it looking good for Oregon State, except like there's just some roadblock I can't get past in my mind for giving a team that has 3 quad 1 wins a host, and they're missing their best player.
I mean, if we're talking about, sure, a small sample size, but 4 quad 1 losses is more important to me than 3 quad 1 wins. If you're going to have 7 opportunities, you lose more than, you lose 4 of them.
Yeah.
Right.
I think, all right.
That's a good point.
I think there's 3 that I like that stand out to me here. I don't know if y'all agree. If y'all do speak up, I'll hear yours first, and then I'll say.
Well, if you want, really quickly, we do have another quick comment from Dodge as it relates to Wake Forest. Josh, if you want to just shoot him down from 30 feet out. He says he's a fan of looking at ELO rankings, which does a good job in rewarding games you weren't supposed to win and punishing games you were supposed to win. Wake is number 6 in those games. Also said, admittedly, that's going to heavily reward their midweek successes. All that being what it is, I would still kind of put Wake in that kind of jumbling with like Oregon State as my kind of last dogs at the bowl of this group.
So here's my thing with that. I do like Wake. Like in general, I like them. But if I'm trying to predict what the committee is doing, they don't look at ELO. Like that's not on their sheet, to my knowledge. So that's not something they are supposed to take into account. Should they? That's a different conversation. But like I don't think they will. So yeah, that's the only thing there. Yeah. Anyway, I think all right. So
who are your 3, Josh?
I like Ole Miss, Oregon, and Kansas. I think
that would be my 3 here as well too.
Jake.
So we're agreeing that I think I'm out, or not. I don't want to say it. So to say it like that sounds rude. Oregon State, I don't think is a host at this point.
I just can't do it. I can't give a team with 3 quad 1 wins a host.
And then so we're just deciding basically. I guess Kansas, Nebraska. If we think if Oregon beats USC in the series, they're probably going to be a host. So we're thinking we're going to pick Kansas over Nebraska. Is what it is kind of right now.
Yeah.
All right.
I think one of my only leans there beyond that is just, again, kind of like what Josh said a minute ago. Are we going to have 3 Big Ten hosts?
Kansas is also 2-0 against Nebraska this year.
That's true.
That's good. That's a great point. Yeah. Okay.
What order are you leaning then, Josh?
That's the trickier part. I think, man, putting West Virginia, Kansas back to back is tough because the conference standings and head to head, contradict each other. I think. Okay, how about this? Since y'all both like Ole Miss as that 14th team initially, should we just do that?
I see your logic. I see your logic there.
All right. So
I kind of like it in the order you have it right there, almost.
I was going to say that too.
Let's run that.
Part of me.
The only thing, not to cut you off, the only thing, like, again, if we're predicting Oregon to beat USC, how high of a boost does that give them? Does that just put them ahead of Ole Miss if they do that?
Actually, if we're going strictly like a snapshot of right now, I actually like Kansas above Oregon, but predicting what the USC series does for Oregon would probably give them a boost. Like if we're going snapshot of just right now,
true.
Kansas, better quad 1 record, better quad 1 and 2 record combined. RPIs are almost the same.
And then who does
ESR has Kansas as 14 and has Oregon as 22. Strength of schedule is like pretty much the same. Kansas has 18 road wins. Like it's like
they're also playing at BYU this weekend, so there's a good chance to get 3 more.
Yeah. Also, at
least 2 more.
I think part of it goes back to Oregon might not even finish top 4 in their conference. They might, but like as of right now, they're tied for 4th in their conference, and Kansas is going to win the 3rd best conference.
Yeah.
Okay, we can do Kansas right behind West Virginia then at 14.
Right. Or I was saying Ole Miss 14.
Ole Miss 14.
If y'all like Ole Miss at 14 in the first place, I'll decide with y'all on that.
Okay.
All right. So those are our seeds. For anyone listening on audio, I'll just run down it. Starting at 1, UCLA, Georgia Tech, Georgia, Auburn, Texas, North Carolina, Alabama, Texas A&M. Those are your national seeds. Then we have Florida State, Mississippi State, Florida, Southern Miss, West Virginia, Ole Miss, Kansas, Oregon. So now I guess we can just debate Nebraska, Oregon State for the next one. Actually, wait, as a matter of fact, we don't have a choice because of the conference thing. We have to put Oregon State here and Nebraska here because Nebraska and Oregon could not be in the same regional.
Correct.
So Oregon has also played Oregon State this year.
Right. And so I know they try not to do that, but I'm pretty sure like the conference thing is they can't. Like there's like they explicitly can't teams in the same conference there. Yeah. But they try to do teams like rematches, but they can, you know.
So Dodge may have seen through us. He said, I see what y'all are doing. T and Oregon at UCLA back up for part 2. Maybe.
Look, I'm not saying I would be opposed. all Western Super Regional.
Run them back. Why not?
All right, so Oregon State here. Here, little Midwest battle in Lawrence there. All right. So the next group, I think, is where we have Coastal, Wake Forest, USC. I'd put Cincy in this group.
I was just about to say.
I don't know if anybody else gets there. Arkansas, I could hear you out.
I mean,
for.
is there
The
ever Virginia?
I was thinking Arkansas and Virginia would be the maybes in that tier.
I think Arkansas, I could definitely throw Arkansas in here. I think there's a lot of things that don't love Virginia, but I mean, like the standings and all, like they're 23 in RPI, 23 in KPI, 24 in DSR. That would kind of throw them in this range. I'm not too fond of them as a whole. That's just my personal opinion.
Anybody that listened to the last episode of College Baseball Now literally heard you saying, other than X and Y, what does this team have to give you confidence? So
yeah, I mean, like, I pretty, yeah. Do y'all? I mean, this is a committee of 3. Do y'all want to put Virginia in this group?
I mean, we can leave them. We can save them for the next group if you don't like them here.
I would agree with Jake. I think I can go with or without them.
Okay. So Coastal, Wake Forest, USC, Cincy, and Arkansas. So I think just the USC is so weird. Like, this is like such an all-time outlier of a resume. They are 8 in RPI without a single quad 1 win, and their strength of schedule is only 40. I just don't like. It's times like this I would just love to see how on earth that formula works, because if you look at the other ones, DSR has them at 21, KPI has them at 22. But they're 11-1 in quad 2.
Let's see. I mean, they're going to end up in this range. Like, the RPI is going to be too high for them to not have them in this range. Even they're playing Oregon on the road. Even if they lose the series, it's not going to drop them out of the top, probably 12 or 15 RPI spots if I had to guess.
Yeah.
So they're going to be in this range whether they have the wins or not.
If we're going if I wasn't looking, if it wasn't for that quad 1 record, I would like Wake Forest here. But a 7-14 quad 1 record just kind of jumps off the page in not a good way. And they're 16 in RPI, they're 12 in DSR, and they're 15 in KPI. I think
you're talking me into Wake.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, they have the 8 strength of schedule. I think we might not have a choice. Like, I think it's just that one thing that stands out to you.
It's Wake. If we're going like looking at records and everything, it's Wake over USC.
Right.
Record.
The more I look at
good record or not, they have more wins.
All the metrics that the committee would look at is telling you this has to be Wake here.
I think so.
Wake Forest plays at Duke this weekend.
Yeah.
Which would be what, Q2, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I don't know. I think they just have to pick up a couple wins in Charlotte. Hope the RPI adjusts accordingly. And congratulations, Will Dodge. I hope 19 is good enough for you.
Chime in at home, Will. You won.
So
kind of. We'll count this as it. So one thing I want to point out here, just looking at the conferences thing, this can't be Cincinnati, and Arkansas will have to go in the next 2.
That is a great point.
So I guess the next question would be, which of these teams do you absolutely prefer to Arkansas if that's going to be the case? I think Arkansas should be your measuring stick for the next 2 picks if that's the case. Dodge at home, relishing in his halfway victory.
So pretty much Coastal and USC, 2 resumes I don't like.
So kind of feels like Coastal cannot go with Southern Miss.
Correct. And I was just looking at this. I think
Coastal's going to be in Gainesville hardcore, boys.
I think Coastal. So there's one thing that really stands out here. Coastal's non-conference strength of schedule is 3 in the country.
Yeah,
31 overall. They're 13-6 on the road. The issue with their resume being they have 8 quad 3 and 4 losses combined.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
Their losses are ugly.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like, I don't know. I just feel like whether we like it or not, USC might just be next. Am I wrong for saying that?
I
No.
mean, no, you might not be wrong. I just hate it. Like,
I hate it because it's
Especially if
USC, not because you
if
said it.
especially if they avoid a sweep at Oregon, which I don't think we can predict them to get swept.
no. So what would be our argument against Arkansas just being here?
Which, like you said, I mean, they have to get one of the next two if we're putting them in this range.
Right. 16 KPI, 19 DSR, 27 RPI
Against Kentucky.
Schedule. There's 6 in the SEC, although we're at the point in this where that might not matter as much.
Yeah.
12 quad 1 wins. That's a thing to have.
USC 0.
I think something that's interesting for you all at home, just talking about Arkansas's quad 1 and then versus their quad 1 and 2. Arkansas played 23 quad 1 games that were split into a 12-11 record. They added another 6 games, and of those 6, won those 4-2 in quad 2. Most of their major opponents are going to be quad 1 as of this. So I just think that's impressive. One thing to throw out there is that if they're going to play the bulk of a quad 1 and 2 in the quad 1 section of that, I would say that's impressive, kind of regardless of the record in a sense.
I'm going to be honest. I'm looking at all of this, and there's just no correct answer for this group. Like, I think you could put these 4 in any order. I mean, there's an argument.
The only thing that stands out, if we're arguing between USC and Arkansas, it's USC is number 8 in the RPI.
Yeah,
Arkansas is 27.
Yeah, I mean,
I just don't see USC dropping that much.
What would your answer be to 0 quad 1 wins, 8 quad 1 losses, Jake? That's my only thing. And if you can sell me on that, I'm with you.
I don't have an answer for that because I don't like that either. I mean,
yeah.
The strength of schedule favors Arkansas. Non-con strength of schedule favors USC.
I'll say this from a geographic perspective. I think Arkansas Southern Miss makes a lot of sense to me.
So what I was kind of thinking, if I were to have to rank these 4, which, we are going to have to, I think I would go I think USC, Arkansas, Cincy, Coastal is how I would do it.
I'd flip Coastal and Cincy, but I'm with you otherwise.
Okay, we'll put those first 2 in that order if Jake's good with it, and then we can talk Cincy, Coastal.
Yeah, USC to West Virginia, and then
Arkansas to Southern Miss.
Arkansas to Southern Miss.
All right, Coastal, Cincy. Did I say Cincy before Coastal?
You did.
I think you did, yes.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's where I stand. Ooh, that DSR is bad for Cincy.
What is it?
39, 25 for Coastal.
Yeah.
Although the KPI is 20 for Cincy, 25 for Coastal.
RPI 21, Cincy 25 for Coastal.
Yeah, Cincinnati, they play Texas Tech at home. That's going to bring them down a little bit.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. And then Coastal plays at Louisiana, which is good for them.
That would help them.
I'm going to defer to you guys here because this is kind of razor thin in my brain. I know what I would lean, but I'm going to defer to you guys.
I kind of like Cincy over them.
I very slightly lean that way. The more things I look at, the closer it gets.
So, I mean, it's more Q1 wins. It's more Q1, Q2 wins. They're both positive in both of those records. Coastal has 8 Q3, Q4 losses. You already mentioned that earlier.
Yep.
Cincy's 3. I think the DSR's a little ugly. I think if the RPI holds after this weekend, they'll be okay with that number being lower.
I think I'm with you on Cincy being higher. If you were to make the argument for Coastal, I think Coastal is a better road record. Non-conference strength of schedule is 3 compared to 67, and that DSR ranking is a big gap. It's 25 for Coastal compared to 39 for Cincy. I think Cincy has more points in their favor, but if you were to make the Coastal argument, I think that's what it would be.
I think we're all kind of feeling Cincy first,
Okay.
and then Coastal.
I'm fine with that. Nope.
Coastal to Mississippi State. That's cool.
Those are some rednecks in Starkville. Good Lord.
Hey.
Hey, look, you're not a State fan. You just might happen to be there if you want to. All right.
Actually, looking at this, I don't know whether I'd want to go to Oxford or Starkville, but I'm into both of it thus far.
Fair enough. All right. So next group, this would be Virginia.
I like both Oklahoma teams in this mix.
I cannot copy and paste in my life. There we go. BC is definitely in here.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, can I copy and paste? Thank you. I think that's kind of where you cut it off.
Are we there on Jack State yet?
I was thinking maybe Jack State if we're wanting to get froggy.
Okay. I don't hate that. I'm just glancing around real quick. I think they could
slip into this range, maybe.
Yeah, we can. Yeah, we can throw them in there for sure. All right, so this is 5 teams.
Yeah.
We have 4 more after this for the rest of the 2 seeds. All right. Virginia, Oklahoma, Oklahoma State, Boston College, Jacksonville State. No team is really glaringly above the rest. I would say if it weren't for the quad 1 record, I think Oklahoma has kind of a leg up here.
I mean, none of them. Oklahoma, Virginia, Oklahoma State are all below 500 Q1. And Boston College is also below 500 Q1. If you look at that, Oklahoma has the most Q1 wins.
It's true. Also the most opportunities by a good margin.
They also have 0 Q3, Q4 losses compared to the others have 3 and 4.
So I think Virginia does have an argument here. Where'd their stuff go? I just had them on my screen. Here they are. 16 and 14 quad 1 and quad 2. All the KPI, DSR, and RPI are within the top 25. I don't think any of these other teams can say that.
If we're gonna go with Oklahoma in one of the next 3 spots, they have to go in this one.
This one.
That's a great. Okay, I'm going to do that because they were going to be my next team I was leaning towards because I don't think you can reasonably put any of the others.
And Virginia can't go on that spot either.
Yeah.
I would go Virginia next.
I agree. Right. Then you should be clear other than BC. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Man, how sick would Alabama Jack State be? Wow.
I think most stuff. All right, yeah, hold on. I'm going to make sure this is right before I say it. All right, yeah. I think most everything is pointing pretty glaringly towards this being Oklahoma State.
I think so.
15 and 13 quad 1 and 2 record. 24 in the RPI. They are 27 in KPI, but they're all the way up. It's 18 in DSR. 33 strength of schedule is way better than any of these others.
I think Oklahoma State's next.
Yeah, I think they're definitely.
They're playing Arizona. They're going to probably assume they're going to win all 3 of those.
This
you
has
would think.
Jack State going to Carolina and Boston College going to Texas.
Okay. I like it, though.
Remember how happy JB was last week when he said that Jack State was going to Carolina? That's how we figured it out. Well, second week in a row. Congrats.
Way to go, JB. Go enjoy something European.
JB's MIA at this point. He doesn't like us. All right. Last 2-seed group. Santa Barbara.
Tennessee.
Yeah.
I already know where we're putting Tennessee. Obvious. I mean, it's a given, I think.
Well, there's only 2 spots. I think UCF goes to this group.
Oh, UCF, huh?
I think so. Unless I'm wrong.
I like it.
No, most things are pointed that way. At least they'll be in the discussion. Is
Kentucky, Missouri State question mark? I'd see them more as a 3.
No, I was gonna say Missouri State, I think, is in this group. Only let's look at Miami. Do we just all right, you know what? Look. There's one. I'm throwing them all up here. Forget it.
Yeah.
I don't think UTSA is like sniffing this.
I think this is the last of the groups.
Yeah, this is the last. These are the last 6 for sure.
Yeah.
All right. So, what is the selling point for any? Like, is there any team here that has like one thing that really boosts them above the rest? I'm thinking. Congratulations to you guys, because I think this is probably pretty clearly Tennessee.
I'm actually leaning towards.
Wait. Tennessee can't go next. Georgia and Auburn.
I think Santa Barbara's next because the only metric that I could think of with. Well, actually, shoot. I love that. First of all, that was where my head was going. Josh.
Yeah, I think it has to because I would put them pretty clearly next, and they just can't go to Auburn or Georgia.
They can't go there. So just based on that, I think that also means Kentucky's going to go to LA unless we like 2 teams. Yeah, I mean,
right.
Another one better than them.
I agree. I think this is Santa
Barbara here, perhaps. Let's consider this. Santa Barbara's major wins: a UCLA win, which is a rare thing. Southern Miss wins over USC and Oregon.
Yeah.
All top 16 hosts.
The thing for UCSB, I mean, not to drag them down, they have 10 Q4 losses.
That's true.
Yeah.
Which is way more than any 1 or 2 seed we have so far.
Their DSR is down at 37. Their KPI is 36, although their RPI is 30.
4 and 6 in quad 1 games is not ideal.
Big selling point for them. Their non-con strength of schedule is 2.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, that is good.
Boy, I feel like I haven't seen that yet. I'm just curious. Who's the best?
Who would we be other than UCSB? Maybe UCF, I think, is who I like next.
That's what I was thinking. Ooh, number 1 non-con strength of schedule in the country, Cal State Fullerton. Shout out.
Shout out. There you go, Fullerton.
That's the only time they've been shouted out on a Bracketology podcast the entire year in all of America.
Yeah, I'll tip a glass to Fullerton before I take a swig.
So I agree on the UCF thing. 8-8 quad 1, 15-14 quad 1 and 2, 31 in RPI, 27 DSR. I might like UCF here better actually.
I think UCF to Auburn.
Yeah, I think that actually is probably the way to go. There's a lot of things that they lean, but I definitely think Santa Barbara's over the others. And
then I guess Santa Barbara. I mean, we've had them going to UCLA every time, I think.
Well, Santa Barbara, if they're next, I would have Santa Barbara going to Georgia if Drew liked them next too, unless I'll put them back.
Yeah, I'm just saying
from a geographic perspective.
Well, wait, hold up. That is okay. They are put in pods technically. Like it's 29 through 32. We would technically like Santa Barbara going to UCLA would make sense here.
I do think that as kind of chalky as it is based on what Jake is saying with what you guys have done. Now I mean, it can't be Kentucky.
I'm about to say, that said, it can't be Kentucky.
I mean, it could be Kentucky if we just did UCSB to Georgia, and then
We have
Kentucky.
Oh, I guess that's true.
Kentucky is above. Well, no, because a lot of the metrics are pretty even here. This is actually way tighter between these three teams than I thought.
Jake, you think Kentucky is the clear best of those three? Is that right?
That's not. I was just saying if we think it's Kentucky, then like we can make a spot for them just by moving UCSB.
Flipping UCSB to Georgia. Okay. I'm just making sure I'm on the page with you before we go further.
So Miami has the quad 1 and 2 record advantage over these other teams by a decent amount. Miami's also leading the way in KPI.
I kind of don't think it's Missouri State.
Okay.
They're 51 DSR compared to the other two are 29 and 32.
I was just about to say that.
I don't know what the KPI is for those teams, but
KPI, Missouri State's 38, Miami's 26, Kentucky's 28. I think the rating systems, like all the metrics, are a wash for Kentucky, Miami, because they're all so similar and contradict each other.
Yeah, the strength of schedules are really close too. I mean,
yeah, these two teams are super close. I mean, in that case, I think we just Miami.
I think never mind. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say Miami because I mean we wouldn't have to rearrange things and we could throw them at Georgia. Yeah, I mean,
I think the argument for Miami they have 3 more Q1, Q2 wins. They're positive in that section. They have less Q3, Q4 losses than Kentucky. The only thing is like the metrics are slightly favoring Kentucky, I guess.
Kentucky has that sweep over Bama, but Miami has series wins over Wake Forest and UCF. I think I lean Miami here. Disagreements?
I think I do too.
All right. So we're over an hour into this thing, and the dreaded part has come. I'm dealing with this just god awful bubble.
As it became known recently, the dirty bubble. Thank you, Jake.
I'm scared. Brace yourselves. All right, just one by one. I guess we can go through and break this down. So, off rip, Arizona State does not have nearly as much of a compelling case as you would think. I know we like them as a team, but there's not a single thing that stands out to you. They have sub 500 records in quad 1 and quad 1 and 2 combined. They are 47 in the RPI, 36 in the DSR, and 35 in KPI, which I guess like in terms of just getting in the tournament, those numbers are probably good enough. That 11-5 road record, pretty good.
They've been very good on the road. I think you didn't glaze over it by any means because this is a kind of almost startlingly mid, if not bad, case,
Yeah.
But I think that there's enough good to kind of heat them in past the bubble, but where is going to be very interesting. Do you know what I mean? I like them better than some of these teams, but the margin I think is going to surprise even me. And I've been banging the drum for ASU all year.
I think they're probably in, just a matter of where.
I'm with you. Shoot, I mean, I could be convinced otherwise, though. I mean, there's teams who we have on the bubble here who are just as good. Surprisingly.
Yeah.
I mean, if we have them in, we're in the 3 seeds now. That's where they're going to be.
Yeah.
Do we feel good enough about? I mean, I think they're ahead of enough of these other teams to where they can be a 3 seed.
Yeah.
Okay, I'd agree with that.
I think so. I mean, just looking at the teams we have listed, I think if we narrowed it down, I mean, if you want to just put them like to the right of that list and just say like, we like them, but let's go through the other ones first.
All right, hold up. I'm gonna do this.
Okay, I feel what you're doing there, Josh. All right, I like it.
All
right.
I think in terms of these other teams here, I think this is pretty quick. I think Liberty's definitely in. 37 RPI. Series win over Jack State, 15-13, quad 1 and 2 combined. 17-5 road record. That's Sirens. 32 KPI. Yeah, I think Liberty's definitely in terms of the best 35 at-large teams. I think they're definitely one of those spots.
I agree.
All right. This is the last
quick.
I hate the ACC so much. Am I going to watch their tournament next week? Yes, but I hate the middle of the ACC so much.
You're gonna get to love it now, buddy. You better get used to it.
I want them to make it easy. I want one or two of these teams just to go on runs, so it just makes everything super easy. Like they're definitely
okay. Let's predict that then. Who are the most likely ones to go on runs, Josh?
Of this group
of your ACC cluster, who do you think is your run-worthy squad?
I plead the fifth.
I think you love NC State, and I think they have enough talent where it could happen. I just don't want to be the one saying it's going to happen.
So here's a way to look at that. Here's the tournament bracket if it were to be played today. State would play Duke in the first game, and the winner of that, they would go on to play Virginia Tech. So State and Virginia Tech would play each other. Pitt's path would be Louisville and then Miami, then Boston College. I think I don't know what I think. I don't know what I think anymore about anything.
I think based on what you just said, I think State and Pitt are safe bets to give two of these spots, and then we can argue against them later if we need to.
I think both of their offenses are good enough to carry them through, personally.
Sure.
I think I gotta see if the resume backs them up. Florida State's 41 RPI, Pitt's 46. State has a negative quad 1 and quad 1 plus quad 2 record. Pitt's record in those also both below 500. State is 6-11 on the road. Woof. Pittsburgh 10-12 on the road. Also woof, but not as much.
Pitt's also 10-17 in ACC play, where the other two both are 13-14.
Oh, that's a really big thing. They're tied for 13th in their conference. I think that holds weight. They have Notre Dame this weekend at home, so that could help. But as it stands right now, they are 13th in their conference.
Yeah. I mean, I think does everything kind of say that Virginia Tech is probably the ahead of this group if we're looking at these three ACC teams?
So the metrics would tell you yes.
The metrics say yes. They have more. They have more Q1 and Q1, Q2 wins. Better strength of schedules.
They're the only one who doesn't have a negative road record.
Yeah.
I think Virginia Tech is in. I would pretty safely say that.
I think so too. And we can save I guess we need to talk about it now. I guess the NC State Pitt, but I think just Pitt being so low on the standings, I don't know how you can argue they should be ahead of NC State. If we're going to put them in, I think if we're going to put one of those two in, I think I would go NC State first.
All right, I think we can. I'm gonna look at some of these others compared to East Carolina. 53 RPI is not good. East Carolina's also been ice cold lately.
Remember when you guys would text and say the bubble is bad?
You get it now?
I get it.
Yeah, I wasn't kidding. So ECU's lost 2 weekend series in a row to not good AAC teams.
I mean,
TCU. I think TCU. Oh man, that quad one record's bad. So is the road record.
Yeah.
God, every time I think a team is pretty safely in, I find something else.
I was
That's
gonna
where
say,
I'm at right
I was gonna say Michigan, but they're also 4-10. Q1.
Yeah. So we're gonna make our field of. All right, we're gonna make our bracketology going to be a field of 60, and the last 4 teams just don't deserve to be in.
Love it. Good call. The team that I keep coming back to is UTSA, actually.
So I was about to get there. Let me look.
Yeah, they just
44 in RPI, 35 in DSR, 43 in KPI. That's good enough. Not a lot of quad one opportunities, but they're 31 non-con strength of schedule, so it's not like they haven't like really tried. Positive quad one and quad two record. You don't see much of that in this area,
Wait.
and 500 road record.
Are we talking about UTSA?
Yeah.
What? Hold on. Their non-con strength of schedule is 168.
I was looking at Miami of Ohio. That is a really good point.
Yeah. Okay, I was making sure I didn't have something in here wrong.
No, that's totally my bad. My eyes were in the wrong place. So that changes my opinion there. Wow.
But none of these other teams in this range have a great non-con strength of schedule. For being honest, the ones that we're discussing right now.
So I think this is the point where typically I like to go through and looking at all these teams. What is one thing that really like stands out in a positive way for you, like above the rest, that makes you like be able to put your stamp on and be like, this team should be in because blank.
Okay. I'll start with one that I've got right off the rip. And then we can kind of piggyback or dance with those thoughts of teams that we don't have moved over right now. Michigan's major wins. They took 2 wins against Oregon, who is, top 16. Nebraska, who was in the mix for it. Oregon State, who was in the mix for it. I think if that's a decent enough kind of benchmark for them, they've got a 36 RPI, which kind of puts them in this range. Their losses are brutal. However, quad one brutal. I think if we're looking for positives, I like Michigan's wins.
I'm with you there. I agree. I think I might have found my other one.
Who you got?
I think it's TCU. They're 31 in the DSR. Very high. Also, if you look at the Big 12 as a conference, they're tied with Oklahoma State in the standings. They are sandwiched by Oklahoma State and Cincinnati. They are right in that mix with all these other teams that are definitive 2 seeds or better.
Yep. I think we could also all agree that TCU has not really played like what we considered their talent could have played.
Correct, and they're also now just getting back their ace.
True.
So that's
not that that's something that the committee's going to gauge on by any stretch.
No, I mean, no, they kind of do. I mean, like if the committee across major sports, they'll look at these things and say, if a star player is out, they take that into account. But if they perceive star player has been out for a while and is coming back now, I think that could be taken into consideration.
Jake, where do you fall on kind of that TCU and Michigan? Like, do you think that those are reasonable?
I do. I mean, I think the metrics do back them up. I wish their Q1 records were better, but
me too.
The rest of everything else is comparable to all these other teams, and none of these other teams just have like a phenomenal Q1 record. If we're talking about that, like NC State's 5-9, Arizona State's 7-10, which is not much better than the other ones. So like, I think we can probably put Arizona State in, and then we can probably also do Michigan and TCU.
I'm with you.
I agree. I do kind of want to go to bat for another team really quick.
Go for it.
South Alabama. I think by that same standard that we just used for Michigan, Alabama win, Southern Miss win, Coastal win. Their losses are ugly, but we'll just ignore that for a moment. 8-9 in quad 1, 10-9 in quad 1 and 2. So again, when we talk about limited opportunities against the big dogs, you see that that's clearly them. However, 17 of the 19 games, again, quad 1. And 8-9 is a losing record, but it's not an egregious losing record like some of these other teams left on the board.
So I'm with you. Here's my argument against it.
Sure.
Historical precedents. They're 59 in RPI right now. There has not been a team that's not inside the top 53 in RPI that has made the tournament as an at-large in the past 5 years. And I don't think they would make that exception for a mid-major who's fourth in their own conference.
That's a great point.
I'm with you. Like, everything you're saying is accurate, but I think historical precedent just shows that it's probably not them.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point.
I think there's okay, here's the thing. Wait a second, hold on. I realize we made a somewhat of a mistake, but not really. This makes it actually more difficult. UTSA is already up here as a conference champ, and I just realized that. So goodbye.
Okay.
So there's that. The next team I was going to say, I think that something stands out is ECU. They are 33 in the KPI. Series tie against North Carolina, however you want to say that, 1-1-1.
I'd call it a tie, yeah.
And I think the AAC as a conference gets 2 in. And this would be my other choice above UAB for sure. Because UAB, like, look, they're here on the sheet, but let's be honest, they got like nothing going for them. They're 69 in the RPI. There's just no chance.
Nice, first of all. Second, yeah, I agree.
I just
yeah, I think ECU makes sense here.
Jake,
if we think they're a 2-bid league for sure, then yeah.
Speaking of 2-bid leagues, I think this is kind of where we could. All right, so we talked about this before. Right now we have 4 at-larges for mid-majors. Would maybe try and steer away from a 5th unless something jumped off the screen. Also, I'm getting rid of them because just
yeah, good idea.
Same thing with Arkansas State. Their RPI is 60. That's not happening. South.
You can you can get High Point off just for the sake of taking them off the list.
Oh wait,
Rip High Point. Oh, they're still in. Yeah,
they're in. They're just a conference champ. So,
is there any chance, Josh, by the way, you could like move all of this up to like beside the conference champs just so I can see them as well? That would be super helpful if you don't mind.
Yes, I got you.
Thank you, sir.
So something that is interesting here, like I want to bring up Mercer. Like Mercer is 34th right now in the RPI. If that number stands, or I think they're predicted, according to like Warren Nolan's predicted thing, to jump up even higher than that, like into the top 30. Like if their RPI ends up in the like that 30 to 35 range, like will that just trump everything else? Like if the metrics say they should be in, will a top 35 RPI kind of trump everything else and they get in?
I think that RPI is kind of far and away the highest of any team we've not kind of swept in thus far.
For sure. I
mean, I get it. I mean, they're 1-7 Q1, 3-9 Q1, Q2. Like,
yeah,
some of these things don't back them up, but it's just like the metrics do for some reason.
47 DSR, 52 KPI. So that's an outlier. I mean, like the 1-7 quad 1 record is a really hard sell.
Yeah.
Also, just like based on principle, 2-bid SoCon. I'm with you. I think I understand what you're saying. Like the RPI is certainly, it'd be tough to leave them out. Like that's like at the very least the first 4 out team.
Probably. So how many spots do we have left?
2.
4.
I think NC State gets one of them. I'm gonna be honest.
Probably 5 teams here.
If we're looking at all of the other teams around. Like compared to these other teams, I think NC State series win over Boston College, wins against Florida State and Coastal, 41 RPI. DSR is 34. KPI is 40. That's all well within that range. And like I said, I just think like also in terms of like I hate that it works this way, but it's true. They go to Carolina this weekend, or maybe they host them. I forget which. But regardless, they play Carolina this weekend, and that's going to help out the RPI just by playing them.
Being there. Yeah, true.
So I hate it, but I think NC State would get a vote for me.
Yeah, I'm good with it.
All right. Last spot.
So I think, unfortunately, there's just like Miami, Ohio. Are they one of the ones that's on here or no? No, they're not.
No, they got the at large. Kent State's here. I mean the auto bid, but Kent State's here.
Okay. I don't know what their metrics are off the top of my head. Texas State being one, they're 62 DSR. I think that's just probably too low.
Right.
If they're considering that.
They're also 7th in the Sun Belt, and that's just egregious.
Yeah.
So I think we can at this point we can like kind of they're not in. Purdue 42 in DSR, 48 in RPI, and 62 in KPI. That's a big one.
Yeah. That's Purdue.
Series lost against Indiana State. Then we have 2 quad 1 wins.
Yeah, I think that probably knocks them out. And here we are with Pitt again.
Louisiana's 59 in DSR. That's not exactly great.
Pitt's 54.
Where is Louisiana in the KPI? Am I blind? Oh, they're 37. Oh, they're higher than I thought.
That's good.
They are 49 RPI. 12 and 12 quad 1 and quad 2 record. That's better than any other team here, I think. That's still left. Besides a team we haven't talked about yet, Kent State. 54 RPI. 60 in DSR, not great. 75 KPI. Yeah, that's a no. That's a no.
Sad for Kent State.
No, they're 10 and 8 in quad 1 and 2 combined. They have a positive quad 1 record. Like
that's a tough loss, honestly.
So here's what we're doing. We're deciding right now between, I just want to lay this out for the people to show how bad the bubble is. We're deciding between a team that is 59 in DSR, a team that is, or 2 different teams that are tied for 13th in the ACC, and a team that has a 1-7 quad 1 record. Those are our options. Long pause is warranted.
How bad is it that I want to go back to Jake and just say, you know what, 2-bid SoCon, give it to Mercer? The only team that I would kind of put in that consideration is Pitt. I think it's one of those 2.
So I think
so. I think it's Pitt. It's Pitt over Cal.
I'm about to say, I think it's Pitt for sure. I lean Pitt. I think my answer here, good Lord, I can't type. My answer here is I lean Pitt just in general.
I think it's Pitt over Louisiana as well.
Yeah.
I just like.
I don't know. I can just see it. Mercer's going to finish the year, which they have to play their conference tournament. Depending on who they play, it could bring them down.
Oh wait, that's a big factor we haven't considered. No matter what happens, they are going to have their RPI come down in conference just because of who they're playing in the tournament.
It's true. That's a great point.
Yeah.
I think Pitt. I hate that, man. I really
I
thought we could sell Mercer on it.
I hate it so much. I think it has to be Pitt.
Now, if Mercer just like makes it to the championship and loses to Western Carolina, like if they just went out and then lose that championship game, I don't know. Are those? Never mind. Yeah, I guess it's got to be Pitt. We're doing the same thing we did last week.
Pretty much. All right. Well, that's the bubble. Now's the more fun part. I like to call it. We're just going based on geography here, mostly, and like a little bit of competitive balance. So,
do we have all of our 3 seeds though?
Yeah. So it would be these, and then we have to choose 6.
Hard
Yeah.
UTSA. Miami, Ohio, I think for sure.
Yeah, for sure. We're going just based on RPI, Western Carolina for sure.
I'd throw a nod maybe for Gonzaga, potentially.
50 RPI, yeah, for sure. 50, 60, yeah, like I think so. Compared
Jake,
to other
you're-
for sure.
Get in there, Jake.
No, I'm good with that. I'm good with High Point, probably too, if we're going off of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's a good point. Yeah.
I like High Point.
So we have 2 more.
No. Oh wait, yeah, one more.
1 more. I thought we had 2 more.
SEMO, St. Joe's, Tarleton, maybe.
What's Campbell?
Not very good.
Are they down?
Well, 67, but I mean, like that's not really compared to the rest. I would
Respect, Josh. I like that.
Oh, Miami, Ohio. That's the one I missed when I was counting. Okay.
Oh, sorry, Jake.
That's why I was confused. I thought we had 2 left. I didn't count them.
If you're going based on the metrics, like what the average of all the metrics are telling you, I think this is actually it's tough.
So
it's either SEMO or Tarleton. I don't think it'd be St. Joe's here.
St. Joe's is 66 RPI, Tarleton 61. I mean, if we're just going strictly off of that to see these teams.
DSR Tarleton's 58. St. Joe's is I don't see them, so they're a while. Or I just SEMO's 92. Well, where is St. Joe's? Oh, 109. Yikes.
Oh,
that sucks.
I think it's Tarleton. Most things point towards Tarleton here, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, let's do that. All right, so what I'm about to do is just solely to help me, since we're trying to do like a competitive balance this way. This is just tedious stuff.
If you're listening to this at home, you're not watching. Do want to tell you if you're an audio first listener, highly recommend you go to YouTube and check out the stream of this, because being able to follow us on the screen has never been more important than in this episode, folks.
All right. So this is what Jake and I typically like to do. First of all, first things first, the West Coast teams. Get them, point them out, and try and shoot them to the West Coast. There's only 2 West Coast regionals this week.
Gonzaga.
That would be Gonzaga, and that's it. Yep.
So somebody's going to make
Arizona State.
Oh, yeah.
And Arizona State can go here because the conference is, and Gonzaga can go there. That's perfect.
Love it.
All right, so now figure out there is only one SEC team. Thank the Lord. Where can they go?
There.
They can go here.
No, there. North Carolina.
That's it. All right.
Yeah.
So we're going just based on competitive balance, then Kentucky to Kansas.
I think that makes sense geographically too.
Yes, it does. All right, so ACC teams, where can they go? They can go there. There's There's usually more options here. I just kind of want to make sure.
Definitely, I understand. I like this. So at home, Josh is going through and just combing out spots we can plug in ACC teams based on not having other ACC schools kind of in the mix there in those regionals.
These are your options. If I could type, this would be a lot easier. All right. All right. Same thing. VATech, competitive balance. We just send them here.
I like that.
Also, geographically kind of makes sense.
True.
NC State, Pitt. So it doesn't really matter as much. We don't have as many other conference conflicts, which makes this convenient.
Pitt, there's no real winner in terms of the geographics of this. Like they're gonna have a little bit of a travel schedule. NC State, on the other hand, I think you can honestly make an argument that makes sense for Florida. I think you can.
Well,
go ahead, Jake.
I was just going to say, has Pitt played West Virginia? Because that's like literally like a really close trip.
Oh, that's.
I mean, that might be boring, but I don't know if they've played each other.
Didn't Pitt like blow out West Virginia?
Maybe they did play
23-1, if I remember.
Yeah, I was about to say
okay,
they
so
like blew them out.
All right, there's no like. All right, this is where we just have fun with it. Like, what would be a fun regional for this?
Pitt, who
selfishly, I like NC State Coastal on a Friday for
that's kind of what
anybody at Starkville, just whoever that may be.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah, do that.
All right. And then we'd like to give these teams probably one of these, but we don't have a choice. I guess we can just send Pitt here.
Talk about an offensive matchup on Friday too. Pitt, Oklahoma State.
Yeah, no kidding. I think I like that. All right, Big 12. Usually more options. They can go here.
They can't go there soon. Sorry.
There. Pretty much a lot of options. So
the only one's TCU, right?
Yeah, I think at this point we can maybe just go competitive balance unless there's like an in-state matchup thing we think would be fun. Like if you look around.
Yeah.
Looking here.
Let's see, there's three of the three seeds we have, there's three Texas teams.
True.
Yeah.
And then there's Texas and A&M.
Do we just do the same thing we do every week and just throw UTSA here? I mean, like we do it every week, and that's relative. Like competitive balance is pretty close.
I like that.
Sure.
All right.
That can be what we hang our hat on when we're right about it.
Am I stupid? Who's the? Oh, Tarleton. That's right.
Tarleton's the other one.
So these are the smaller schools. You probably want to keep their travel not super far. We want to send Western Carolina to.
I like that.
Well, okay. Well, here's the thing. Second week in a row, JB pointed this out last week, and I think it's actually a good point. I don't know if the committee would give them just 3 mid-majors.
Yeah.
That's a great point.
So do we just send Michigan being the worst of the at-largers? We send them Michigan?
Yeah. Yes. The more I think about it, that's a great point.
Jake,
do you have any argument there?
I don't. I was just gonna say, who else does that stipulation like qualify for? Like who else wouldn't get 3 mid-majors? And like who do we already have a mid-major going to?
I think
that's it now.
Yeah.
Just UCLA is the only one.
Oh, Missouri State I would not put here because they already played Ole Miss in a series. So if we're going, we can go Liberty here because if we sent Liberty here, it would be just Arkansas as the only power conference.
Before we keep skipping around, Josh, is there a problem in your brain with doing 2 mid-majors to UCLA?
I mean, based on principle, yeah, maybe, but they are the 1 seed. So
another thing real quick, Dodge chimes in. Send a power conference, TCU, he suggests, to Southern Miss then.
I'm with that.
Jake, thoughts on that?
That's why I said, yeah, Liberty here maybe because no. Oh, I said that wrong. Hold on.
Yeah, you were saying Liberty there because Missouri State's already played Ole Miss, right?
Liberty here, then I guess would make the most sense. We could go TCU here, Liberty there. Thoughts?
Liberty to Florida, sure.
Ben
I'm good
Blair,
with that.
Nate Taylor, Friday night.
Okay.
Oh wait, shoot! I see what I was saying. Wait, sorry, hold up. I did that wrong. I would go Liberty here. In most
Missouri
days.
State there.
They already played. That's my bad because Missouri State played Ole Miss in the series. All right. Now does that look better?
I like that.
Okay.
I mean, I'll take Ben Blair versus Chris Lavonis too.
Yeah, I mean that's
Yeah.
with that too. Now do we just kind of? This isn't final. I'm just kind of like, if we were to go strictly competitive balance, this is kind of what it would look like.
So if Tarleton would probably go
A&M
to A&M, right, for travel.
Point. So,
and then we have 3 Carolina teams and Miami, Ohio.
Yeah.
What's so I didn't write in this one.
The most northern team of this group would be, I guess, either of the Georgias, which it's not really much different from Auburn, Northern.
No,
like it's pretty much all. It's not enough to make a difference.
I'm almost positive in terms of just the northernmost of these, it's going to be Atlanta.
It would. I think it's very, very barely Georgia, like Athens, but it's like it.
You're probably right.
Essentially like that. So it like where it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I think Miami go to either of the Georgias. It's fine with me.
How about we do Miami to Georgia?
Miami. Oh,
that's great looks. That's good looks.
There can be only one, as they say.
The Miamis.
I'm fine with just
going straight then.
This.
I like that.
Thoughts?
Yeah.
Works for me.
Now, actually, wait. Please, this is the part that scares me every time. Please tell me we have the right amount of teams. This is where I find out. Please. Thank the Lord. All right. All right. Westernmost teams. San Diego State. Really, besides, like, I guess, Oral Roberts.
Yeah, I guess.
Well,
bad day to be a team on the West.
No kidding. Oral Roberts isn't enough. Or like, I'm going to leave them, but I think we can go San Diego State here.
Yeah.
All right. We try to do the Northeast thing every single time, but there are so many Northeastern 4 seeds that it just never makes sense. Also, the most Northeastern 1 seed is like West Virginia, and that's it. So at this point, we can just kind of go matchups. There's like relatively straight across. I don't want to send Oral Roberts there because we always do, but like, who's kind of Eastern of these? Like, Sela, like not really, but like of the group, like Indiana, no. Oh wait, SEMO.
SEMO, I'd say. Who are you looking for? You're looking for the most Eastern of these.
Western.
The most Western. I'm sorry. Okay, SEMO.
It'd be SEMO or Oral Roberts, but if we like, I think the SEMO is significantly better than Oral Roberts, so it would just be giving UCLA a literal cakewalk, as if it matters with them, you know. But
Dodge proclaims somebody's going to lose a limb in the Eugene Regional.
This is
Suspect he's correct. Yeah, that's going to be a bloodbath.
Dude, imagine Dax Whitney wasn't hurt and we got Dax Whitney, Cole Carlone.
Yes, please. Inject it into my veins. Yeah, Dodge, I think you're right on the money with that.
I think I like this. Dodge might as well just like have been on here, you know.
Yeah, may as well, honestly.
Dodge has been our 4th contributor. Dodge contributes more than JB. Think about it.
Dodge, if you're in the position where you can come in and chime in, I can send you the link. Just let me know in a comment. You may as well jump on.
All right. In-state stuff that I see, Campbell to UNC would work. North Florida and Bethune. Wait, this is a tradition on here. Bethune goes to Florida State. North Florida goes to Florida. That's a tradition every single week.
Love it. Thanks for including me in your traditions, guys.
Absolutely. It's just something about it. I think Bethune goes to Tallahassee every single time they play in the postseason. So,
who are we to step on tradition?
Oh wait, Jake, do we keep tradition going and send Yale to Georgia?
I think so. We can, if that turns out to be what happens, then we'll be
Jack
happy to say
Owen, Joey Bolton,
folks. We've had it from the beginning.
All right. Do we have anything opposed to Campbell going to Carolina because it's an in-state? Or actually, yeah, it's an in-state thing.
I don't mind that.
All right. Nothing else is glaring. Kansas is kind of, I think, hold up. Oral Roberts to Kansas would work because of like geography. I think that would help. Kansas is the most western of the teams left, I think. Yeah.
I like that.
Well, and Texas, I guess.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Oh wait, Texas can get Sela. That would make sense geographically. That would check out.
Sure.
So we got Oral Roberts, Kansas.
Jake, you want to send your Philly boys down here down to Auburn?
Sure, they can handle it.
All right, I'll remember that.
Not gonna lie, I would love that.
Drew's gonna go down to Auburn instead and get him.
Yeah,
some
that's the
Primrose, actually.
Yeah, Drew's gonna see his new favorite player, Blake Primrose.
By all means.
See a lot of Texas.
We could have the debate, like I said today. Doyle's new rankings has Blake Primrose ranked above Bub Terrell. They would go head to head. Look at that.
Perfection.
A&M doesn't have anyone yet. They could get, I guess, Wright State, or I guess Indiana State is technically the furthest
what would be the most
west team left.
I think it's Indiana State.
Indiana State, because it's just them and Wright State, and then Northeast schools left.
Correct. We can send Wright State one of the Mississippis, which is over half of our options.
That's true.
So I guess that doesn't matter.
I'd like to humbly suggest Fairleigh Dickinson to Atlanta.
Okay. Jake, I have a question because I don't know how to say this besides just saying it the way I'm about to. Jake, which of these Northeastern schools left is the poorest?
So we have Bucknell, Binghamton, Yukon, Niagara.
Yeah.
First thought, probably Niagara.
So we send them to West Virginia because of the travel.
I hate that you're making me answer that question, but yeah, I guess.
If this is your first time watching college baseball now, hi. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, Niagara, you're the poorest of these four schools.
That'll go on our 100th episode quote clip.
I'm just saying, would this make sense if we did?
Right State.
I hate sending Binghamton all the way down to Oxford, Mississippi for multiple reasons, but I don't really see a
UConn to Atlanta. I'm gonna connect that sense there because Atlanta's the largest airport.
Didn't Drew just say FDU?
Oh, I did Georgia Tech, but I'm just don't pay any attention to me at this point, y'all.
No, we're paying attention to you. There's no wrong answers here.
If you say so, buddy.
Can I copy and paste? This is good lord. All right. Now any issues?
So Alabama gets UConn. Sure. Wright State to Mississippi State.
Move everyone over.
Bucknell, Southern Miss, and then Binghamton, Ole Miss.
Where did you say you didn't want to send Binghamton to?
I did say that. Yes.
Well, TBSS, I guess.
I think this is fine.
I think that's.
You
fine.
didn't want to send them to Ole Miss? Is that what you said?
Well, just for the sake of geography, like that's just such a long travel for Binghamton. But it's not like they need to. I guess
it's just as long of a trip for UConn.
Yeah, that's true. But UConn is tons. I don't know. Whatever. I think it's fine like this. If we're just going like Oh my gosh, I'm gonna blow a gasket.
Listen, Binghamton can handle the trip, man.
That'll be
We
fun.
good?
We are good.
That's certainly a field of 64, my
We've got a
friend.
field. We've got a field. Look, an hour 50. There is no way for us to do this in less than 2 hours. It is not possible. I'm telling you. Every time.
Do you have your first
Right.
4 out cemented over there? So it's South Alabama,
It's
Texas
gonna be
State.
It's gonna be 4 of these 7. I don't know if it's the exact order, but
Maybe
Yeah,
our
I'll-
last discussion.
I think Mercer they should be in that group with the 34 RPI just right now.
Well, joining us to make this discussion, of course, it is the number one commenter, Will Dodge. Will, thanks for joining us, sir.
Hey, how's it going, my guys?
Doing
What a
great.
surprise.
Doing great. We couldn't have done this without you. You've literally been supporting the comment section solo. So why not come on and help us determine our first 4 out?
First 4 out, yes. I was looking earlier. I think you got to put Purdue in that. Their RPO is pretty good. Plus, like they have. I was looking at this earlier. I was looking for schools that have like an opportunity to be a bid stealer. I think Purdue's got a chance just with a power conference tourney.
Yep.
I think you're gonna throw Mercer in there.
Yeah.
Obviously, negating what I just said. I was curious. You guys didn't include like Clemson, even though they're the bottom of the ACC, but their RPO is pretty nice. And if they grab a couple,
Right. So I thought about that. Like, here's the thing. They should be in the same tier of teams of like being first 4, next 4 out. But when I put those teams in there, it was more of me just thinking like teams that have some kind of argument to be in the field. And if you are 15th in your conference of 16, I don't think you have an argument.
yeah.
Like that's just my thought process.
Yeah, so I think you should also throw Kent State in that
That's
last
what I was
4.
thinking next.
And then the last one, that is really tough. I guess I'd go Louisiana, but I'm open to suggestions.
Texas State has the RPI, but in terms of conference standings, I'm pretty sure it's South. Hold on. South is 4th, Louisiana. Yeah, it's South. Drew likes South to be in the
I'm
field.
almost leaning south, but I'm open to arguments. I'll say that.
To be fair, if this has any kind of weight, we had South in our field last week, just like in general.
Okay.
So that could help. South is a positive quad 1, quad 2 record, so I think that's big in this case. So we could do that.
Well, I'm also going more to this vein of power conference teams jumping in, throwing it out there. How many wins in their conference tourney do you think K-State and LSU need to have?
I think they have to win. I think they have to win.
They got to win it all. Okay.
I don't think Kansas State had an argument for a while, but I think they're now.
Yeah,
They had a real bad couple.
I mean, just look at the quad 1. Kansas State is 5-14 in quad 1. LSU is 4-16. I think you have to.
Not going to fight that.
Yeah, I mean, I think you have to win it. There's a lot of teams that applies for. I mean, Clemson it applies for too. It's
for what it's worth. Since we haven't brought him up specifically on college baseball now in several weeks, if D. Kennedy decided to just full out supernova again, Kansas State has done crazier things. I just agree with you, Josh, that I think it would take a Herculean level performance.
Let's look at the path. If the conference tournament were to start today for the Big 12, Kansas State would play Utah, then play Cincy, then they play West Virginia,
Ooh, that's
and
tough.
then either Arizona State or TCU, and then a championship game. So they would have to win 1, 2, 3, 5 games.
Well, it's been a lot of fun considering Kansas State. I think it's over now.
Yeah. Chat lady can start singing.
Yeah. La la la.
I'd say
Real
so.
quick, Will, while you're with us, what is your favorite regional out of the ones?
Oh
we
yeah,
have here?
great question.
Yeah, I mean, I was chatting Oregon that the Eugene regional is hell. They talk about Fayette Nom. That's going to be Willamette Valley Nom.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Rohan Leto as a number 4 San Diego State Friday night guy might be good enough to force Oregon to have to throw Will Sanford. That's just gonna so much chaos. I mean, we're talking about Oregon State, Arizona State getting a little bit soured with no Dax Whitney, but I think Kleinschmidt, Carlone is still one of the better Friday night
money
matchups.
matchup.
Yeah, looking off the top.
Another sneaky good Friday night pitching matchup, or not even sneaky good. Mason Edwards, Brett Renfroe.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Sneaky 4-1 if Binghamton's Connor Griffin is back up to 100. That might be tough.
Yeah.
That's gonna be one of the more dominant Friday night guys, and then obviously with Yale, Jack Oman.
Yeah,
I was just going to say, I just love that's just going to be like the ultimate test. If this were to play out, the ultimate test for Jack Oman, like, is he for real or not? Is he just beating up on Ivy League, or is he like for real? Can he do it against Georgia?
I'm not going to take credit for saying this.
And then it's the battle of the Miamis also in that one too.
I'm not going to take credit for this take, but Jake loves to say we send Yale to Georgia just so Jack Oman can ball out in Athens, and then Wes Johnson just swoops him up next year and puts him into his pitching factory.
Wes Johnson becomes the star-eyed emoji before our eyes. Yeah.
Oman's already had that ESPN article that he tried to get poached by ASU last year.
I saw that.
He's from Arizona. I don't know. I mean, I can see him just sticking at Yale. And I'm going to say for a number one seed and having no power conferences, that's a pretty tough LA regional. Obviously, UCLA is going to squat on all these lineups, but UC Santa Barbara is just as comparable rotation. Gonzaga's got a really good Friday night guy. That's pretty tough for a 1 seed.
Yeah. The fact they have no power conference teams is how the committee could play that off and say it's not that bad, but I agree.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Jake, do you have mentioned earlier, Oklahoma State Pitt is going to be a final score like 16-14.
And
whereas Wake, Liberty, Ben Blair, and Chris Lavonis might be
so good
in 11 innings.
The Starkville one's also obviously a tough one. Coastal going to Mississippi State. Drew, I don't know that St. Joe's going to Auburn would be enough to draw you away from Coastal being at Mississippi State.
No, the only thing I would say is there any chance we could swap St. Joe's and Wright State? Because if so, then I'm going to need to just pick up residency at the Dude for the weekend because I've got to see all of it. But no, the Starkville Regional is really good. At this point, I'd have to determine whether I would rather be, like I said, Oxford or Starkville. Two really solid ones coming in North Mississippi, boys.
Those are two of my favorites. I love Southern Miss, too. Southern Miss is fun.
Yes.
I'm calling there's going to be a benches clear in Nebraska and Kentucky.
That's a great
I love it. Yeah.
I don't think Arkansas TCU benches clearing is off the table either.
No, it is not. Gabe Gackle.
Is there any Tennessee High Point bad blood?
Not necessarily. I'm hyped for that, though. High Point was such a fun team to watch. The High Point Florida series, low-key, one of my favorites of the year. So,
Tennessee High Point is like polar opposite student demographics.
Yeah, I was there for that Portland March Madness site where the High Point Panthers were out there. That is an interesting student section.
No, their fans get into it, but it's just it's
passion.
It's backgrounds. We'll put it that way.
They're I was joking that I think that might have been like the first basketball game that they were watching because it was like every foul call was booed, and I was like, there are a lot of tough fouls there.
They're there for the antics. That's it.
Yeah.
Well, we are rounding up on 2 hours. I think that's gonna do us for our live stream. Of course, we may sit and chat as the graphics getting made, as the episode's getting tweaked and presented for you listening at home. But I do want to give these guys an opportunity to shout out where you can follow them in between our episodes of College Baseball Now, what they're working on, and we'll start with the number one commenter himself. Will, you came in really to lift the spirits and save the day at the very end. We could have done it without you, pal. Where can they find you between episodes? What are you working on?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Will T Dodge. I was actually just punching out the ACC Daily Sheet right now, so working on that.
Rub it in.
I just put out last week the April Team of the Month, and then working on some stuff on the side, trying to do like a 5 deeper dives thing, something I've been working on over the course of the year. So yeah, 5 deeper profiles, then also a hopefully I'm done in a couple days with this, but I put out a personal 2027 college rankings.
Ooh,
yeah, trying to get a little head start there.
I was doing some of that on my own today, ironically enough. I was trying to put that together a little bit.
All right, there we go. Yeah.
There we go. I'm not going to post it soon, but I had the take. I'm just putting that out there. Don't know if it's unpopular or not. I think Dax Whitney might have 4+ pitches. That is my hot take at the moment.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Before the surgery, I was really close to putting a 70 on him as an overall grade. I don't think you can now. I think that's pretty risky. But yeah. Big guy that I'm really on is Teddy Tokheim, the Stanford. He's like DH for them. Yeah. He's kind of gone around to like third base, outfield, but massive power and really awesome freshman year.
Oh yeah. No, I'm with you. Can't wait to see all of that. And you also have a live looks that somebody has not edited yet, so maybe they will.
Yeah, well, there'll be more this weekend. I'm going to Cal Stanford, so
excellent.
Well, why not?
Can't wait. Jake, what are you working on? Where can the people find you between our episodes?
You can follow me on Twitter at Jake Barge. I just put out my mid-major rankings yesterday. Those have been a lot of fun. Not as much criticism this time as what I've gotten in the past, but I'm open to all of it. I'm fine with all of it. I do have I am planning this weekend probably to go to Western Kentucky, Delaware. There's some good looks to get for Western Kentucky, and I'll probably have a live looks out for that one, and plus the St. Joe's VCU game that I went to the other day. So be on the lookout for that.
Absolutely. Mr. Catlett, same questions to you, sir.
You can find me on Twitter at JoshCatlett3. I'll be at the ACC tournament all week next week, so look out for some content there.
It's going to be good stuff. And if you want to follow me for whatever reason, you may do so on the Twitter machine, on Instagram, on Blue Sky, at DrewIsOK. Want to advise you, if you've enjoyed this stream, if you've enjoyed what we've done, breaking down the bracket, Prospects Live membership start as low as $7 a month. I think it's the best content bargain on the internet. We have had this week a ton of drops. Bowman Day, obviously, huge day in the card collecting community. We had a ton of information about that. Top 600 prospects for fantasy were just released. We had Mock Draft 3.0 just come out this week. We loved all of the response from that. All of our new members that have signed up, we love that as well. Things for your card collecting hobby, for your fantasy team. You want to see what prospects are doing well. For your major league team, you want to follow what we're doing as an amateur team prior to the MLB draft. No better time, $7 a month. It's a great price. Of course, want to encourage you to give us a 5-star review, thumbs up, leave a comment below. Let us know what your favorite regional is. I think we all said what our favorites were. There's several good ones here in this field of 64. Let us know what your favorite regional is down below in the comments. Until next time, want to give a shout out all across the pond to JB Sebastiano. Hope he's seeing some wonderful things in Europe. Until next time, we want to remind you, be nice to yourself, be nice to each other. We will see you hopefully soon enough for another live stream. Stay tuned for that. Take care. Bye-bye.